contact here in the range. It was going left. Contact was going right. But all in all, it's pretty good.
What were you considering crappy contact?
Just when I can hear it, feel it. You know, when it's good contact, I hear it,
Sure.
I feel it, and everything. And then whatever I was doing, and I couldn't identify what was going that way. Crappy contact when I just couldn't hear it,
Sure.
couldn't feel it.
Was it ever heavy?
Yeah,
Sometimes?
Yeah.
But mostly left?
yeah.
Starting straight and going left, or starting left and going left?
Hitting good. Like,
Okay.
yeah.
What's your target right now?
I don't have it.
Let's go to blue.
I'm kind of focused on. What do you think? That 100 maybe?
110. The red flag there on the right is 75, so, or 77.
I could feel myself like starting to club it instead of swing. That was a little bit more of a swing.
What did you do differently there? Because I know what we could work on. I want to know what you did to yourself just now.
I told myself to slow. I told myself not to muscle it. I always want to muscle instead of.
Because the left one and the right one were muscled. That one was not muscled.
I can't get myself to get into that mode all the time.
Sure.
On a range here for a while, on a course.
Oh, on the course, that's an immediate thing. That's what everyone does, and that's not just a you thing. Everyone gets out of the golf course and starts to try to swing it harder than they should.
I had run.
You ever hit on a metronome? Do, 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 do. And just time your swing up to a metronome. So, in all regards, we talked about your swing being very one plane. That means you try to hammer one, swing gets off plane, ball goes in different directions. You swing smooth, Freddie Couples-esque, ball stays straight. There is an ideal ratio of backswing to downswing. Tiger Woods was one of the first people where we measured the ratio to, and it's 2.75 to 1 in a rough scale. Ideally, the ratio is anywhere between 2.5 to 1 and then 3 to 1 in that ratio. You'd probably be on the longer end of that ratio. So almost that 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 in that fashion. And you generate enough club head speed by how relaxed your hands are, by how well you release the golf club, by how well you post up on the left side, that if you do start trying to generate and create club head speed, that's where those left and right start coming from. You're an armsy player, right? You're not a person that's gonna muscle that club around with the big muscles, the shoulder blades, the chest, that sort of stuff. You're an armsy player. And the more you get those arms working kind of to and fro, the better you're gonna hit the golf ball. That being said, you have to, I think this is the biggest takeaway from this section at least, you have to wait for those arms to rest and come together, and almost a feeling of pause for some players feel a legitimate pause, but you're gonna feel when you start hitting it really well that you're gonna be here, and then that club starts working its way back down, versus when you try to muscle one or get out of tempo, where and all of a sudden that ball's left or off the toe when it's right. So if you feel relaxed and we keep you on that left side, like we talked about, that left side pressure, those hands and those arms are going to do the majority of the work. Yeah?
Yeah, I get it.
So let's feel a little bit more of that. And this is going to take just a second, and it's not a physical thing. It's a mental thing, which is probably why it's going to take a little bit longer than most. You're almost going to feel as if the club is here before you start your rotation down, like forward in your downswing. And it's going to take a second. You're going to probably do a couple funky ones where you almost miss the golf ball. That's what I'm expecting. But once we start ingraining that Tom's tempo into there, you'll be able to start generating that club head speed and that much more consistent golf swing. And then I'll figure out a timing by the time we're into the day, and I'll actually send you something early next week that'll help you with that tempo. So very patient at the top. There. That's it.
That was really...
It felt slow to you, didn't it? It's not slow. It's not slow in the slightest. So that's a little bit of a rush. That was
it?
Yep. I was trying to get the club head back down with the shoulders. That was surprisingly very good. I feel like I underestimate my players most of the time, and then either I surprise me or they surprise me by the end of it.
50 years played that ball.
Good. What I do like, yeah, you do. What I do like about how you go about these lessons is you're very persistent on exaggerating what we're working on, and you're only going to learn things faster if you do that. So I don't know if you know it, but you're okay with hitting some weird shots and doing some weird, uncomfortable tempo things. That's going to make you better faster. I don't know if you know that, but I know that. See, that's what felt like you swung very hard?
No.
And that went just as far as the ones you did where you're trying to muscle them. You're not a big muscle person, and some people aren't. Freddie Couples isn't a big muscle person. John Daly's not a big muscle person. He'd probably even say that he doesn't even have any muscle. He's just using, one, really good physics, John Daly is, and two, he's swinging out of his shoes. That's why he hits it so far. But Freddie Couples has such good tempo that he can hit 7 irons 200 yards, swinging that same tempo that he's swinging. And it looks like he's swinging as smooth as you possibly could. Vijay Singh's another really good player to watch for tempo. Those guys are patient, right? They're here, and then they're down. They're never there. You're not the player. You're the player. And you're going to be able to generate the same amount of club head speed that everybody else can. You're going to be able to generate the same kind of ball flights, but your consistency is going to be much more based on your timing and your tempo than it ever is about your positions.
I think it's going to help me slow down. I think it's going to help me.
On the golf course, it's going to feel incredibly slow. That's pretty good there. Yeah. Oh, that was actually really well hit. I thought you caught it a little thin and toey, but
I didn't catch it well.
That went 10 yards further than the last one.
You want it? to remind I have a friend's father, pretty good golfer.
Mm-hmm.
He had to quit golfing for 2 years because he had this thing where he went back. He couldn't go.
That's
He
yeah.
quit golfing for 2 years. No. But yeah, it's
That's a tough psychological battle to get through.
like a glitch.
It's kind of what happened to Charles Barkley, more or less.
Really?
Yeah, Charles is why he does, the whole Charles Barkley swing. But he's actually got a pretty good swing now, so shout out to Charles. Now, this is one thing that we're still working on the same thing, obviously. But this is one thing I want to make sure that we don't do. Patience doesn't mean laziness. Patience doesn't mean passiveness, is a better way to put it. We can be patient and aggressive. And we got to make sure that we stay aggressive. Those heavy ones that you hit, the golf jargon term is deceleration. You're getting up here to the top and you're just lazily, passively going down to the golf ball. Once you feel those hands come to rest, let those things go. Let them, fire them away. Let them eat. But they have to feel passive to the top and aggressive to the ball. There's a really good phrase for you. Yes, that was top 10. That was very good. That phrase makes sense? Passive to the top, aggressive to the ball. I kind of like that phrase.
Because I've only done it for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Kind of focusing on relaxing at the top, and I think that's why I'm getting a little bit
Sure.
lazy.
Sure.
Coming down.
I totally understand that. Yes. Oh, absolutely. Look at that. Goodness. What club are you hitting? You're hitting a 130-yard pitching wedge at the moment. Passive to the top, aggressive to the ball. I like this tempo you're developing for yourself. I like it a lot.
It's awkward, but it's not. I think I'll be able to practice my way into it because it feels right.
I would like to point out something if it's something that you haven't noticed, but I want to see if you've noticed it first. What are you feeling on the way to the top of the backswing?
Well, I'm still focused on like coming back,
Sure.
To your clubs, and I'm feeling myself pause. I'm feeling myself I'm not like clutching up.
Yeah.
I'm letting it stay back.
Okay.
Without like getting like jerk.
Holding on, squeezing that thing. What I see in the way that I would verbalize it, it looks like you're going not lazily, not passively. You're going slowly to the top. The backswing looks much slower than it did whenever you started today. That's the way I would verbalize it to myself. If it's something that you want to think about, you can. But I'm totally fine with patience to the top. Look at guys like Colin Morikawa. They're not rushing back there. Look at guys like Hideki. They're pausing at the top, right? There is a slight correlation between backswing speed and downswing speed, but slight, very slight correlation. For players that are armsy like yourself, that correlation is less relevant. So I think of it, if you take that backswing nice and slow, you'll be able to feel the patience at the top better, and you'll be able to feel the aggressiveness starting down better. That make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. Patient to the top, aggressive to the ball. Oh, come on now. Who is this guy?
That felt pretty good.
It should be 2 or 3 in a row that was just absolutely flush. That's fine. That's what I'm here for. Look, I've said this phrase so many times this week, and I remember Rory saying it at the BMW. Golf is not about who plays the best. Golf is about who makes the least mistakes. And that means if you do make a mistake on the golf course, one, knowing the why, but also having small mistakes, not these big snap hooks out of bounds or the top ball that goes 10 yards off the tee box. It means missing a green by 20 yards versus 50 yards. That's what they mean by small misses. You're going to make smaller misses the more patient you are at the top and the more aggressive you are to the ball, period. That's just a fact. Because you are, this is not me blowing smoke, you are phenomenal from right here to right here. You are phenomenal. And I know that because I watched your video 30 times this week. You're phenomenal from here to here. And it's just all about trusting. It's all about putting this into a spot, right? Having this position right here be efficient and consistent. If you can be efficient and consistent and patient to here, you can be as aggressive and you can swing as hard as you possibly want. Because you are so good from that position.
You work for it. Never considered I was good from here to here, but max.
Well, like I said, you've got even if you don't believe it, you have phenomenal hand-eye coordination.
It is right now an effort. I know, I trust this will get better. But right now, going up and relaxing it's right now it's a lot of things.
I would be surprised if there was a tour professional who could tell you what they were thinking from the beginning of their or the beginning of their downswing to impact. I'd be surprised. I would be surprised only in the fact that I've studied human brains long enough to know that the human brain can't act that fast. I'm talking about half a second. When we're talking about making a conscious effort while making a conscious movement and then having a conscious thought within half a second. It's not just something our wives tell us. It's not possible to do two things at the same time, consciously. So you can't have a conscious motion to the ball and a conscious thought at the same time. But if you are having conscious thoughts to the ball, which you've told me you are, that means that your conscious, unconscious motion, your subconscious motion to the golf ball is elite. Because I'm watching the motions and you're making contact with the golf ball more well than not well most of the time, which shows me, especially because you told me that you consciously try to think about something on the way down to the ball, which shows me how good and how elite your hand-eye coordination is. So if you can get patient and you can get to that consistent spot here to the top, you're going to hit that thing well. That's just a fact. And I think one of the best things about your game is you can just fire from there.
So going back, slowly, relax. It's all about setting up and not having to think as I'm coming back down.
That's it. This is I love this analogy. I don't use it enough, but I love this analogy. This is the archer aiming and pulling back their bow. This is them releasing that bow. They've done all their preparation, they've done all their work. If they tried to aim that thing there, toast. The arrow's gonna come out like this. This is for armsy players like yourself. If we make sure we get here, and the fun thing is about a backswing is, if you don't, especially with how passive and how patient yours can be, if we're passive and patient up here at the top and you feel something's gone awry, you can stop. You can put that club back down on the ground. You can take another practice swing and do it again. If you tell John Rahm to stop his backswing before he got to the top, that guy might snap in half.
It's pretty twisted. Yeah.
Right? But if that might be the analogy that you use. So have you shot a bow?
Not for a long time.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Let it go.
Yeah.
Yes. That's spectacular. A little on the toes there through impact, which is why it went left. But other than that,
okay.
Fantastic.
Because it did feel like that.
Okay, you want to look this way?
It's a little bit out of bounds. Yeah.
Yeah.
And as I'm kind of focusing on my stance and balance, here in the range the last couple of times, it started getting real wide.
Please,
Wait a minute, what am I doing?
please, get wide. Please get wide.
I was.
As much as you possibly can. By the way, I want to make a compliment on you flaring that left foot. Thank you for doing that. Is it still?
Still. Oh, it's better.
It looks better that you're just kind of setting up with that foot flared.
It is better.
Pull that arrow. I mean, that's 10 out of 10. Unless you came here and you hit balls 5 days a week, I wouldn't expect anything better than that.
I wasn't hitting like this in the ring, but
Here's my phrase, and this is, once again, I don't teach a lot of players like yourself who are passive to the top and aggressive to the ball. More often than not, I teach athletic, I would say super athletic individuals that are trying to muscle that club around. This phrase that I heard, I don't know how long ago it was, but I heard a phrase that 5 balls in 50 minutes is way better and infinitely better than 50 balls in 5 minutes. 5 and 50 is better than 50 and 5. And that means if you hit a ball, we're gonna take a step back, get a drink of water, we're gonna take a breather, and we're gonna step up and hit another one. Because especially when it's hot here, there is that diminishing return if you stand here and you just hit golf balls after golf ball, after golf ball, after golf ball, especially a tempo-oriented player such as yourself. If you stand here and you do that, your tempo is just gonna go. It's gonna be like playing the piano and all of a sudden you start cramping up and you keep trying to play that same line of the music and you're just cramped up. So, unintentionally, I'm stopping you in between every golf shot and making you, because golf isn't played 5 shots in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's not. As much as we'd like to play 9 holes in 15 minutes, sometimes, it's not played like that. We've done the math, and roughly in a 4-hour round of golf, you're hitting the golf ball for a total of like 8 minutes.
Okay.
You got 3 hours and 52 minutes to do other things.
Yeah.
Right?
Makes sense.
Patient to the top, aggressive to the ball.
A little too fast. Did you see anything on that back swing that I crushed it?
You didn't let it come settled up at the top. I'm also very impressed at how well you are. I think I told you in the first lesson, but how good you are about noticing your whys. You mishit it and you're like, I was rushed. Your verbalization was, it was rushed. It was rushed.
I think maybe.
I get caught in that little trap too. Yes, absolutely. 10 out of 10.